Learning to say no without blame, shame or guilt is an art form, and always the most difficult with those in our intimate circle, because we're connected to them and nobody wants to upset or not please those we love the most. Of course we do. However, healthy personal boundaries sometimes mean that we've got to say no, especially when it comes to our deal breakers and our deal makers. Because if we don't sustain and nurture self-respect and self-preservation, nobody else can or will. We've got to teach people how to treat us. And when we've got an anxious loved one trying to seduce, guilt, shame, encourage us into saying yes to something that would really compromise our self-respect, we let them down if we people please them. If we're not being true to ourselves, we're actually being false to them. So today's word of vitamin is on saying no, and I tell a little story about the very first time I had to say no to a female elder who was very close to me. And they say that the difference between a girl and a woman and a boy and a man is when the young adult can actually look at the elder with calm assertion in their power and say, no, that's not going to work for me, or thanks but no thanks, or no, I'm going to do it the way that feels comfortable to me. Now, my sons are 29 and 27, and having to do a lot of this homework myself in letting go of managing their lives and just stepping back and watching them say no to me and to things that I didn't think were best for them is just what we have to do. You know, we have to allow people the dignity of their own mistakes, and also too, you know, other people have their own heart map to follow, and we've got to allow those we love to be free to be who they are. So when it comes to saying no, if you get a chance to read the word vitamin in full, I tell you a little bit about my own story there and my very first time I had to say no, and how it changed the whole landscape of the intimate circle of my life. Another thing to consider on the subject of saying no is, how well do you receive somebody you love saying no to you? That's really important, especially with those nearest and dearest to us, because they've got to be able to say no to us. And are you able to handle your disappointment with respect? Can you disagree without disrespect? And I just had a little exercise in saying no this morning. I'm just looking at moving a camellia bush and had the spotter worked out, and my husband kind of said, no, that's not going to work, because his car comes and gets scratched. And even though I had my heart set on that place, and I know it's a little thing for me to stand in my power, listen to what he had to say, and then work out a compromise, is sometimes, you know, it just takes self-discipline. And a compromise, a win-win, is always the best result with loved ones. So just wanted to check in with you today and have a look at how you are at having those you love say no to you, and how emotionally fit you are able to stand in calm assertion and say, no, thanks, it's not going to work for me, without feeling guilt, shame or blame. I'll let you know when I've mastered it, but slowly, I'm a work in progress. Mwah! Lots of love. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.